My name is Brian McMahon. I'm a high school educator and animator. And this is my action research project. Are animations a relevant and effective companion to traditional textbooks that increase retention and understanding of the curriculum? I can illustrate that they can. It's always been a no-brainer for me to think that having animations to go along with the subject worked. I remember as a kid watching educational Disney films.
But opposite reaction force. Sir Isaac's statement can best be illustrated by showing what happens to our pet dog when he sneezes. For every action, there is an opposite but equal reaction. This same principle applies when we light an ordinary skyrocket.
Exaggerated and often humorous cartoon interpretations really stick in the human brain, and oftentimes it's this imagery that leaves an impression.
Aerial steam horse.
This animated realm was so effective that back before the U.S. space race, post-World War II rocket scientist Wernher von Braun decided that in order to create a greater public interest in the future of space travel, rather than just making nuclear warheads, he would team up with Walt Disney to create Man in Space, the educational cartoon we are watching now. During my literature review on my topic, I found an abundance of evidence proving the effectiveness and relevance of using animated agents with instruction. I categorize these sources in three parts, the first being classroom application. The next category is animation's part in history. Animated training has proven itself since World War II.
This is the boys' anti-tank rifle.
Back then, the government looked to animators for a more entertaining approach to training. In 1942, the 18th Air Force unit was made up of about 100 enlisted men, whose sole assignment was to make amusing and engaging training films for servicemen.
If this lead is not maintained, or the aim taken directly on the target, the shot will be behind the target and will probably hit something that was not intended.
During the war, they turned out more animation than any other studio in Hollywood. That didn't even include examples like this from Disney
There
Studios.
is an old army saying, your rifle is like a woman. If you treat her right, she will never let you down. Say, now that's going a little too far.
Finally, there's been research on how animation has been experimentally proven as a useful teaching tool. And if my action research is going to be complete, then I'm going to have to do a little bit of experimenting myself. Now that stuff I was saying earlier about watching educational cartoons as a kid was no lie. I knew that an educational cartoon series was worth doing a long time ago. I began developing, drawing, and animating a cartoon series based on United States history way back before my action research, mostly during my spare time while deployed in Afghanistan. These animations are factual with voiceovers, but with plenty of satire and exaggeration to help give that mental picture. So the Boston Tea Party looks like this. And this is the Battle of Lexington and Concord, where the colonists used guerrilla war tactics. That was the shot heard round the world. I developed text and static graphics from the same sources that I used to develop my cartoons. 2 standard textbooks, The American Nation, Our Land, Our Time, and of course, U.S. History for Dummies. So I have the text and animations. Now I need some good test subjects. I use my animation students. My empirical research was straightforward and logical. I chose 6 subjects, each from 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. I would test one group with my history animations and test one group without, and see who made the best scores. The plan was to give them a pre-test of 20 questions covering 2 chapters to get a baseline as to what they already know. After the pre-tests were given, I let a week go by and then let half of them review only the text and the other half review the text and the animations. For my Cycle 1, I found that there was 255 points improvement from the animated subjects' pre-test to post-test grades, and there was only 150 points improvement for the students who only reviewed the straight text. But what if the text students just weren't motivated, or vice versa? That certainly could have swayed the results. For Cycle 2, I told the students that for every 90 and above they received, they would have a free day. So now they were motivated to get the best grade possible. For Cycle 2, I also used 2 new chapters of text and animation. Lastly, I swapped what kind of materials the subjects would review from what they used the last time. So if they got the cartoons last time, they only got the text this time around. Although the differences across the board between the pre and post tests were much smaller for Cycle 2, it still revealed that I got higher test scores from the students who looked at both the standard text and my history animations. My results match the same results in my literature review. Animations are a relevant and effective companion to traditional text. Walt Disney said it best in 1945 when he wrote, "Once an educational film is made that meets all pedagogical requirements, the task remains to make it as available to education as the textbook is now." He also goes on to say that its physical nature, however, prevents the ease of reference that is inherent in the textbook. Hence the need for a combination of film and book is clearly indicated. This is exactly my contention. My next move is to approach textbook publishers with this idea and my content. This action research project is yet another reason why it makes sense for publishers to merge with today's growing technology and start creating content that not only moves, but moves the students as well.